Wait, here I am. Okay, I'm live. I didn't realize it was there. And it started. Perfect. I love this. Okay, so I was talking to Don and I was trying to get so I'm having the difficulty of getting videos and things loaded into the laptop I use because I've got the laptop for this. So, hi Todd. So what I'm trying to do is find a way to move stuff. So he suggests that I use like a OneDrive or something like that. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm trying to find things that I've sent via OneDrive right now to try and find this stuff. Because I've got a whole, I realized I have like looking at it right now, like I have this crazy collection of Jack White, because this, again, when everyone's phone was taken at a Jack White concert, I had this thing. So I was like, dude. So I'm like, oh, wow. I totally forgot I had that. But I have all this Jack White footage from the show, which is kind of funny because no one was allowed to take any pictures. He was like, no phones, nobody can have pictures, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I apparently have a lot of those. Oops, sorry, Jack. But the thing I was trying to find is I was looking for a video I just moved over, which was, it's going to be way too long. There's so many. All right, we're not going to do this. Otherwise, I'm going to be sitting here for doing this for an hour, and I don't want to do that. But I was trying to find the, I had a picture of the Waymo from California, because apparently they're going to start having now autonomous cars in Dallas, Teslas, which I was like, oh, okay, so this should be great. We're going to have Teslas as the new, crazy cars that people are going to be burning and doing everything else to. So anyway, we'll see how this works out for everybody in general. All right, so I do want to open this picture, though. This is the picture I want to open. Come on, open. Okay, so there's the picture. All right, so I'm eating a Toblerone because I do like chocolate, so aloha! So Don found a tiki-themed Dairy Queen in Grove City, Ohio. I'm going to go check it out this week, and I'm going to film that for sure because that just sounds amazing to me. I was like, seriously? Okay. That's crazy. Before we get to the stuff, so it was really, really hot today. So you can see this is what I got out of the car temperature today. It said it was 100 degrees outside. Okay, which is crazy. That's the ambient temperature. The car was not sitting in the sun. It was actually sitting in a carport and a cement driveway. So it wasn't even a black driveway. And it said it was 100. Even when I was driving, it said it was 100. I don't know if that's true, but it was so hot today. So I was working outside. I had to go demo a part of a deck. And then I cut the grass, but I didn't start cutting the grass till after 8 o'clock. And I finished cutting at 9:30 tonight because it was just so damn hot. And then I wondered, because I was really thirsty. But before I drank many literal pints of liquid death, could also sponsor me, I weighed myself because I was like, how much sweat can you actually lose? So I had to Google everything. So everything I Googled turned out that you can lose, ready, 2 to 3 pounds of sweat per hour. Now it says temporary water weight loss, but that's crazy. So I weighed 188 pounds. I was like, what? So I drank 3 liquid deaths, which are 16 ounces. Now, of course, that does mean that 16 ounces is a pound. So I put 3 pounds back on. I weighed myself, and then I was at 191.5. I don't know where the other 0.5 came back. That's kind of weird to me, but yes. So literally 3 pounds of water I drank because I lost 3 pounds of sweat. If I weighed myself beforehand, but I didn't. But that's still crazy to think about how much we could lose. The reason I bring it up because tomorrow, one of the days tomorrow is hydration day. So I just thought that would be topical since that's part of that. Topical. So favorite liquid death flavor? My favorite liquid death flavor, I like the severed lime and the orange. So the orange and the lime are a toss-up. I buy both of those. I like the orange, I like the lime. I like the bubblies because it's not sweet, but it's got a good flavor to it. My favorite Popey is the lemon lime. I don't know why. It tastes like, forget what it tastes like, but it reminds me of something. So I like the Popey lemon lime. Poppy, I don't know, Poppy, I guess. Lemon lime. But yes, lime is good. I prefer the cherry and the grape. I don't know about the grapefruit. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, all right. The orange and the lime is my favorite. I did have the purple one the other day. Maybe that's the grapefruit. That one was good too. But normally I only find the orange and the lime, which is odd because for a while I can go to the store and you go to the convenience store and they have the 16-ounce can, and that's what I was getting at the grocery store. Now they got 6-packs that are 12 ounces. And I'm like, whoa. That seems like what I don't want. I want the 16-ounce cans again. So I think they're just, shrinkflation. That's how that works, right? Shrinkflation. But yes, so hydration day tomorrow. But okay, so going back, now today, the 22nd, is National Kissing Day. So if you got out your kissing booth, hope you made some bucks. It was National HVAC Tech Day. I guess being it was as hot as it is, you definitely want to be friends with an HVAC tech today because it's just blazing hot. Blazing, like I said. Onion Ring Day, National Onion Ring Day. I had onion rings yesterday, not today. And it's National Chocolate Eclair Day. Didn't have that, but I did have Toblerone. So, now tomorrow is Pecan Sandies Day. Now, Roger from Family Guy, from American Dad, always wants pecan sandies. That's the only reason I even know the reference to it. I don't think I've ever eaten a pecan sandy. I don't know if I'd want to eat a pecan sandy. They're probably great. Probably going to be like, they're amazing. I don't know. I've never had one as far as I know. So I couldn't tell if it's a flat thing, a round thing, a cookie thing, a crunchy thing, a soft thing. I have no idea. So I didn't even look it up because I was like, pecan sandy. Sounds great. It is National Pink Day. Now, Pink Day, pink goes back to, it goes back to the 14th century and not the color though. Okay. Pink is a verb. Pinking. So it's Pink Day, but it's pinking. And it is perforated or punched patterns. So it used to be clothes, you'd have pinking. So I connected the two and two together. I'm like, wait a second. I remember taking a home ec class and we had pinking shears and they cut in like a zigzag. So mind blown. Pinking shears. That's what it means. So it's a thing. And it's been around since the 14th century. I could be wrong, but according to me, pinking shears, which makes perfect sense. It wasn't in the description I read, but logically, I would say that's what it means. Grandma had pinking shears. Right! Pinking shears. They're basically scissors, but they cut the little, squiggly pattern. Pinking. Who knew? Hydration Day. So it's National Hydration Day. And it's National Detroit Style Pizza Day. Now, I was confused for a second. because I'm like, okay, Detroit style pizza. Okay, it started with Buddy's Pizza in 1946. That's where Detroit style started. You can still find Buddy's apparently. And there's like 19 locations or 9 locations. And you can get Detroit style pizza everywhere. But there's other variations of pizza. And I only knew a couple because I was like, well, how many could there be? Well, there's Detroit style, right? But then there's Neapolitan style. There's New York style. There's Sicilian. There's Chicago deep dish style. But then there's Greek pizza, California pizza, and St. Louis pizza. Not heard of St. Louis pizza. I've heard of California pizza because, I mean, they have a California pizza kitchen. So, but St. Louis pizza, you got me. I don't know. I'm gonna stick with the traditional. You know, I'm used to like the Jersey pizza that you get. It's like you get at the boardwalk, and it's like this big. Like a manhole cover, and the pizzas are just gigantic. You have to fold them. You know, you got to fold the crust in the back, and then the grease drips down your hand. The orange grease that drips down, and it's just like floppy because it's so skinny. And yeah, that's pizza because it's just this giant, huge, flat thing. Go to like Sam's on the boardwalk in Wildwood, New Jersey. Sam's is famous for that. Just that massive monster pizza. You get a couple slices and you're fine. Because they're big. But yeah, Jersey boardwalk pizza is the way to go. Don't get me wrong. I love myself some good church pizza, which is Sicilian pizza at like the Italian festival. Because the church ladies only make it during the actual Italian festival in the fall. And it's great, believe me, but it's church pizza. That's what we call it, the church pizza. And it's, these big honking pieces of Sicilian. But then you can get like Adriatico's pizza, which is big. And yeah, there's all sorts of crazy pizza. I've got a friend who's a pizza connoisseur here, Mike G. He always is just like, oh, this place, you got to go to this place. Oh, you go to this dive, this place. This is like, it's a hole in the wall, but they make the best pizza. Oh, and this one over in this place and this place. And he knows every dive pizza place there is to know. Because I guess, dive pizza is a thing. But it's, the good pizza, like, they make these little teeny ones. And I'm like, that's not a pizza, man. That's like a snack. I want a pizza, like giant-ass pizza. So yes, Detroit-style pizza, National Detroit-style pizza tomorrow. So I don't know if I have to go find some Detroit-style pizza. I'm not sure. Someone here has to make it, right? There has to be a Detroit-style pizza in Columbus. Steubenville-style pizza is lame, topped with cold unmelted cheese. I don't know about that one. I guess it could be that. Who knew? They made some pizza in the Heinz Verified. Steven tried to make pizza. He tried to flip it. Wound up hitting the boom microphone actually at one point. Lots of holes. He had to throw it in the garbage. And the guy who was showing how to do it, he actually had a real attitude. Like, it wasn't just for the show. He actually had an attitude. I was laughing because I was like, wow, this guy's really got an attitude about this whole thing. It's like, really interesting. But there was a pizza in Pittsburgh style pizza. Like every state has its own, city has its own style now. I don't know, that makes no sense to me, but I guess you could. All right, speaking of which, remember, you have to like and subscribe this, okay? Because I'm going to start, I keep saying it, but I am going to start posting videos there because I can eventually figure out how to move this stuff over. Don is giving me some ideas of how to put stuff onto OneDrive. Then I can put it on OneDrive so it can be on this computer that I have below me on this side. See, this one, that one, this one. Because that's the computer I use to capture everything and move it over. This is the one that's the broadcast computer. Then the screen here is what I can see when I'm broadcast. This one I don't have an adapter for yet, which I need to get. And the adapter is what I'll be able to then look at the ATM. I'll be able to look at the Blackmagic and YouTube simultaneously. So I'll have 4 screens going, but then I'll actually be able to see everything and understand stuff. And then maybe figure out why there's no damn audio when I put stuff on the video for you to watch. Because I did want you to see the Waymo, because the Waymo is hilarious, the driverless car. I was okay with it in the city. I don't know if I would be okay with a driverless car on the highway, to be perfectly honest. I really don't. At those speeds, I would be, I don't know, a little scared of it not reacting to some idiot. And making sure that, high speeds, cars do erratic things when they, you turn the wheel a little too much and you're going sideways. And I don't know, it just... Driving in San Francisco, not a problem. 35 miles an hour. It wasn't a thing. I was like, sure, great, beautiful, let's do it. But the whole 70 miles an hour plus, yeah, I would be concerned because, even my driving when you're on the highway, because, like I came back from Cleveland and yeah, people are just driving so damn fast. I mean, I'm doing 70 and there was people doing 20 miles an hour faster than me. I mean, easily doing 90, just blowing past me. And okay. And normally just not, if you're driving the highway, you know what I'm talking about. They're not just, they're like, right lane, left lane, middle lane, left lane, around this car. And I'm like, okay, bro. I was like, good luck with that. Nobody needs to get there that fast. I had some woman today who driving, and then she's like in the middle of the lane. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you would be, and I, kind of go around her, and then she is like this, like looking at the phone, like not like even this. She's just. I was like, oh. I was like, where is the police when you need them, or someone to be like beeping because I was already past her and she didn't really care. She didn't pay attention to me whatsoever. Because I was like, this is not good. I'm going to get wrecked by this crazy person who's driving not well. Not well. So yes, Detroit Style Pizza, Hydration Day, Pecan Sandies, and Pink is tomorrow. Pinking shears. Pinking shears. I wonder if I have any pinking shears somewhere. There's got to be an old sewing kit somewhere. I'd have to find that. I get pinking shears. I get pink things. I did regain my weight after the sweating, so that's good. And I don't have any sweat stains because this is a clean shirt. I did have a non-Randsanity shirt on today, just for the fact that I knew I was going to be outside at some point, and it was going to be hot and gross. I have to be outside tomorrow, so I'm going to go do that really early, because I don't know what the temperature's supposed to be like, but I guess we're going to have a heat wave for the next few days. Okay, super, that's great. But yeah, I don't really want to be outside working, but I still have to. Speaking of which, I've got a Fiery Foods Festival coming up. Jets is Detroit style. Oh, okay, I like Jets. So maybe I'll find Jets Pizza tomorrow. That way I can have Detroit style pizza for dinner or lunch or whatever meal I eat tomorrow. Jets Detroit style pizza. Who knew? I do now because Don told me. What's I talking about? Heat tomorrow, hot, right. Fiery Foods. So the Fiery Foods Festival. I have that, again, I could be putting it up over my shoulder if I had thought about this ahead of time, right? So I could do this and I can go then Google this thing. I can go to Fiery Foods Festival, Columbus 24. There it is, Columbus Fiery Foods Festival. Boom. There it is. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to lock it. Come on, just don't make me do this. Just open. Stupid thing. It's just ridiculous. Because that's not my computer. That's an old radio station computer, and it has other people that have used it. So it's all sorts of confused by me because I didn't log in as me, apparently. So I don't know what its major malfunction is, except for the fact that its major malfunction, I guess, is that it's... There it is. Look. Wow. Okay. Oh, whoo. So over my shoulder, on. Now that's crappy. See, it changed. Just because I moved it, it changed the setting. It shrunk it again, which I don't want it to do. See, it's there, but it's tiny in the corner. It should be down. So for some reason, it didn't save the setting. I got to figure out why I did that. Anyway, look, Fiery Foods Festival. Friday, July 25th and Saturday, July 26th. Food trucks, flea fair, arts and crafts, hot sauce, salsas, tons of parking. So if you like fiery foods, it's in Asheville, Ohio. And it's got the flag there. Now, you know that's not a flag. The flag for the state of Ohio is actually a burgee. Did you know that? A burgee. I only found that out because I got into an argument some years ago about what a flag is. And it's not a flag. It's not a pennant either, because it's got the little cutout like a swallowtail. So it's a burgee. So there's a wrinkle for your brain today that the state flag of Ohio is not a flag at all. It is a burgee. So there it is, the burgee. Don't ask me. But yes, Fiery Foods Festival. It's good. I'm the one putting it on with my partner, and we're gonna have fiery foods. We'll probably have fiery food eating contest. I think we're gonna do wings and tacos, maybe empanadas, pizza. So if you're so inclined, go to that, and we'll make people sweat for sure. I don't think we'll do the peppers this year. We did the peppers, and I've got a video. I found that when I was looking through this to try and stuff to download. So I'll have to find that so I can put it with there. See, all these things I think about afterwards, it's just like, but the hot pepper contest was nuts. Okay, I gotta say that if you don't know, I've said it before, I will say it many more times in my life, I don't do spicy stuff at all. Literally, I can sweat eating like pasta sauce because there's something in there that I'm clearly allergic to. So I'll sweat from the head up, like dripping. If you've ever seen me literally eat it, it's nuts. The pepper contest people take themselves too seriously. Oh, for real. These guys were eating, stuff that is just brutal. I don't know how they would do it. And they would have all these serious faces, but they were throwing up because it was so hot. And they're like, crunch, like, oh, we're going to do this. And you could just see them like turning colors, like ghost white, like pale. And like, dude, that's got to be tough on your guts. So I just can't imagine. But yes, many of them threw up while doing the contest because they just could not keep it down because it was so spicy. We had to have a medic on site because we had one guy who, he was down for the count. He threw up and was just, and this is brutal. This is just brutal. The guy who was running the contest, I was helping MC, but there was the guy that was running it because I don't know, again, I don't know spicy, so I didn't know about the actual peppers. The guy won, and there was a head-to-head, and the guy that lost, while he's literally throwing up into a garbage bucket, this guy's like shoving the microphone in his face. So where are you from? So how many contests have you done? He's like asking him questions while this guy's tossing into a garbage can. And I was just like, that's the most brutal thing. That's like watching like a European soccer match where they keep the losing team on the field while they go through all the stuff of, the victors. They don't send them back to the locker room. They stand there for this more, the mortification and the humiliation of defeat. But he literally was interviewing, and I think I have it on videos too, where he was just like, so what's your name? Where are you from? I was like, wow, that's just harsh. I don't know if he did it intentionally to be harsh. I think he just was completely, had no sense to take the guy just throwing up and you're interviewing him. I guess it's one for the books. It's one for the books for sure. But yeah, I cannot do hot food. So you will not see me doing a spicy wing challenge or anything. They were talking about trying to do something when we were doing the show, Day Trippin', which episode 5 this Thursday, about eating some spicy wings or something. And I'm just like, no way. So I can't do it. I said, I will not do it. I don't care if it's on camera. I will be sick for days because I cannot do it. I was raised eating very bland foods, German, Irish foods, so it wasn't super spicy, lentils and hot dogs and bratwursts and Wiener Schnitzel and, Irish had fish and potatoes, and there wasn't a whole lot of curry and jalapenos and other things in my diet growing up. So did not bode well with me as an adult. So yes, you will not see me having those contests for me. But yes, this thing, this Fiery Foods Festival, happening on the July 25th and 26th. If you're close, it's worth checking out. It's definitely fun. The contests are usually pretty ridiculous. Usually get a couple guys up there that are just, the non-professional ones are like, oh, I can do this. And they try and shove down a spicy slice or two of pizza. And, these guys make it to hurt them. So they're making this pizza with God knows what, ground up everything. And, pretty much it's like capsaicin and mace. So you're just eating mace. So it's really not something that you want to be doing. But that's not for me, not that guy. What we do. But I will find the video. I will find the videos of this because I think I videoed like each one, like how hot it was, and some of these things were these angry looking peppers. I mean, you can tell it's going to be angry. It's going to be hot because it just looks angry. It's not like a nice smooth thing. It's all wrinkly and it just, the color isn't good. It's like brown, like a brown reaper. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't eat that even if I didn't know it was going to kill me. It's like 1,000,000 on the Scoville scale or something. The Scoville scale, if you didn't know, is how they measure the temperature of the pepper, the spicy level, the Scoville scale, which, again, my Scoville is like 2. Not anything above that. So barbecue. There you go. I'll have a barbecue pepper, please. Not even mild. I will have the barbecue. Honey barbecue, if you have it. The honey barbecue pepper. That's what I would like. Just saying. Oh, apparently the TV's loud upstairs. That's what that was. So the 22nd of June, summer has officially begun, and it is hot as blazes out. So we have to make sure that, I did it again, I've got that crutch. I've got the crutch. I keep saying so. Why do I do that? I need to figure out why I use that crutch. It's not, I don't go or I don't say like, totally, but I do say so. So that's my crutch. Got to figure out how to break the habit of that one. I was looking at seeing about if I can use music beds in some of my stuff when I eventually get to producing actual videos that you might be able to hear, because that also seems to be a problem. I can't get the audio output anymore, which I did at first, but for some reason now you can't hear the output of the audio, which makes no sense because you did at first. It's the same computer, the same cable, the same hookup. I don't think I changed anything, but I don't know. So this week is ComFest week. So I have to go to my storage, one of 3 storage units, and go get a bunch of bike rack. And the bike rack is what we'll put around the stage. So I will do that. So Thursday, at some point, I have to do whatever it is, rain, shine, heat, snow, locust, whatever else might get thrown at us, to set it up. That requires at least one other person, hopefully 2, to help me, and a truck. So I've got to take the truck and load this sucker up with like 30 pieces of bike rack and then set it up around this big stage area and the main stage of ComFest. Because the festival starts on Friday and it goes Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I have to take it back down on Sunday and then store it, and then someone uses it for another event later in the summer. And it's nice, but so like or yeah, so like or I don't know why I say it. It's a crutch. It's a crutch. I'll try not to do the crutch. I need like a shock device, like a shock collar, You know, like when the dog barks, it gets shocked. I need a shock collar that says, if I say so, it's like, no, I will not get one. Maybe. I do have a bug zapper that is like a tennis racket, and it's little wires next to each other for zapping bugs. Bzz, bzz, bzz. I'm sure you've seen one of those. Some of them come with safety screens on them. I prefer the one without safety screens. Now, the first time I got one, I think we were definitely somewhere down south, Aruba or the Virgin Islands or something. It was a long, long time ago. And because there were mosquitoes in the room at night, and we woke up with mosquito bites, and they're like, oh, you can buy these things. So I was like, oh, sure. Bzz, bzz. I'm like, this is great. So I went over the room each night, and, you know, because they would hide in the curtains from opening the door during the day, and I'd zap the mosquitoes. Well, that mosquito zapper made it home, and we found other uses for it than bugs. It became the it became the game du jour when we would sit outside on the front porch after maybe imbibing a little too much, and seeing who would zap what. So it hurt a lot on your fingertips. Like if you touch it with your fingertip, because you have a ton of nerve cells in your fingertips, it hurt like crap. But we were like, all right, well, what if you touch your nose? Zap. And your tongue, your earlobe. And then it just degraded from there. Let me put it that way. There was not much that did not get zapped at one point or another with the bug zapper. And this was not just a one-time thing. This sort of became a rite of passage for people sitting on the front porch. The bug zapper and the other uses we found for it, and the body parts that were in fact zapped by the bug zapper. But that's neither here nor there. But I still have the bug zapper, or at least a variation of it. I actually had to pull it out just yesterday because there was a bug in the house that needed zapping. A fly got into the house, so, you know, running around. We used to have one at the radio station. We also had the assault rifle, which was like a salt shooter. So it's a little thing you pump up when you actually put like table salt in it, and you kind of zone in on the flies up close and pop them with salt. I don't know if it was ever effective. We tried, and I think it maybe it would hit them, but I don't know if the success rate was all that great. I personally, my preferred method when it came to the killing of flies, if we had a lot of flies sometimes, like the bigger ones, if you use a spray bottle with like Windex or something in it, but it can't be the mist, it has to be the direct spray. You get them wet and they can't fly. Their wings are wet, they just kind of hit the ground, then they're just like, oh, and that's the end of that. So yeah, just psst, 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 boom, knock them down. That's my preferred way because it's easier. It makes a little bit of a mess, but if it's just Windex or even water, hot water, you're just spraying a little water around. Fruit flies are another thing entirely. That's one of those things where whatever method works for you, go for it. The vinegar method, you can buy the little things at the store that look like apples or whatever else, you know, beer. I've got plug-in bug zappers and all sorts of things that are made to attract them and then butcher them. We had one that worked really well, which was no chemicals. It had a sticky pad on the bottom, and the fan was like a guillotine. It was like crazy angled blades that were circular, and when it spun, they were really thin, and it spun so they were sharp, so they would hit them and beat them up. So there wasn't much left to stick, and if they did get sucked down, they stuck to the pad in a little tray underneath. It actually worked really well. It was not clean though. It was definitely messy. The blades got covered in bugness, and there was a lot of bugs at the bottom you had to clean out, and you just kind of, oh, well, let's throw this pad away. Better than the hanging string thing, the sticky string. We had those at some point. I don't know why. Someone bought those and thought it was a good idea. Of course, inevitably somebody runs into it, and then you've got fly and goop and stuff stuck to your skin, your hair, or your face or something, because inevitably someone's going to bump into it. Because you obviously, no one's going to, let's put it somewhere where nobody is going to lean into it whatsoever. Well, we'll put it right here. It's easy to get. I'll put it right here in this path by the bar, because it's really easy for me to get to it at this moment, as opposed to I should think ahead and not put it where it's going to be run into. But that's not how we as humans work. We're really, really good at fixing things once they're broken, but we're not good at, that will never happen. We'll just go with it. Preventative medicine, we don't need to do that. There's many examples of that. Many examples in AI, as a matter of fact. Falling down the AI rabbit hole, the self-driving cars, supposedly Tesla's going to do them in Texas for $420 is going to be the total ride. $420. Elon, you're such a comedian. $420 for a ride in a Tesla autonomous. Again, I'm okay with low speeds. I don't know if I can do the highway. I don't know if I'll. It just seems that that's just a bit risky for my taking. I don't know. That doesn't feel safe. Having something else drive me. I don't like other people driving me. The last thing I want is something that I can't yell at. Slow down! Watch out! Hit the brakes! Wait, that's when everyone yells at me. I knew I heard that often. Not my inner monologue. That would be people yelling at me about driving. Look, I'm a Jersey driver. I drove an ambulance. So I would be an aggressive driver. I'm a defensive driver, but I'm also a bit of an aggressive driver. Knowing that you have to play chess, because that's what it is. Instead of just weaving through traffic, you have to have a reasoning for the weaving. You have to accelerate or slow down sometimes, because you can see the traffic is going to do something way in the distance down the way, not just what's happening one car in front of you. That's at least what I was taught. You have to look a lot further down the road so you can anticipate what's going to happen or may happen, as opposed to what you're dealing with right in front of you, because that you're going to have to deal with anyway. But that's me. That again, that is driving according to me, which may or may not be the proper way to drive. I don't know, but I'm a good driver. Good driver. Your favorite movie reference of Good Drivers. That would be me. But again, tomorrow, Detroit style pizza day and hydration day. So you must stay hydrated, because it's going to be hot again. And pecan sandies, again, you know what? I'm not even going to Google it. Don't care. And pink day. So I am going to look for pinking shears so that I can pink something. Maybe I'll pink my notes. I'll pink my notes. Wouldn't that be silly? And with Don's assistance, helping with ideas, I think I'm going to be able to put stuff into the cloud, and then I'll have easier access. I'm not going to say easier than I do now. So maybe I can put these videos and things into a more cohesive pattern so that I can sort of shape it and go, oh, here's what I was talking about, bing, and then video, and bing, and then video, and bing, and then video. Because that way I think would be fun, because I have so many videos. So I can go back to old stuff and new stuff. Like, who doesn't want to see me dancing on stage dressed as a wombat for the Wombats? I was in a wombat costume. Because, why? Because they said I could be. I was like, okay. Or dressed as a leprechaun on stage for St. Patrick's Day because I could. or dress as Santa Claus. On stage dancing as Santa Claus. Why? Because I could. That's kind of how that works. Because I could. What can I say? The crazy adventures that ensued from the radio station allowed for crazy adventures. I do have to, in fact, find that way to share more of this stuff so you can see the crazy adventures. And then we have to create more crazy adventures, because I did capture crazy adventures recently, but I just don't have them downloaded. AI, come save me. Where are you when you need it? Also, time would be nice if I had more time, but I don't. I seem to have less time now than I did when I worked at the radio station. How is that even possible? I don't really know. But I seem to have less time. Time is accelerated, or is time a constant? Remember, it is the apex predator, though, because nobody survives it. Do good things. I did nothing good today. My normal good thing. I cut my neighbor's grass because old, and they can't afford to hire somebody, so I cut their grass. I just always do it. I've been doing it forever, so that was my good deed. In the hot sweatiness, I just cut their grass. So that was my good deed, because I always do. Because I could, right. But that was my good deed. I cut the neighbor's grass. I know, but I guess it's not a new good deed. It's an ongoing good deed, because I do it all the time, or weekly. Again, because they can't hire somebody because, I have to pay somebody to do it, so I just cut it. It's not that big of a yard. It takes me 15 minutes, big deal, just walking, mow over whatever's growing, grass or plants or weeds or whatever else it is, small trees, because they don't really do a lot of gardening or yard work. Throw a bag of mulch down now and then so it looks nice. It's not that expensive. I wait till it goes on sale and it's $2. A couple bags of mulch, there you go. Now you're happy. And I feel better. And the yard looks nice. All right, so the TV is loud. Somebody upstairs must be watching TV at a high volume. That's probably telling me to shut up down here. Ma, I'm doing my video thing. And I did get batteries. I reminded myself, it only took, 4 days to do it? But I did go to Lowe's today and actually remembered it because I wrote it down last night because the batteries were dead completely. But I did get batteries, so I got the lavalier back, and it seems to be working fine because I have no complaints. The TV isn't coming across. Oh, well, it's really loud. I can hear it. Maybe this lavalier's, I guess it's supposed to be right here, so I guess it is doing its job. But I can hear it. It's loud. There's TVs like right there. Again, in my small basement studio, this little space of 7 feet by 8 feet, it's not a lot, so I can hear everything. And yes, the TV's loud, very loud. Normally I play loud. Oh, see, that camera. I tried to look at the settings, and both cameras have the same settings. So I guess that is the camera is telling me that it's time for me to go. So I will do that. Tomorrow is Monday. I'll be back at it with a new week, a weird week, because I'm not sure. I'm closing for one of the nights. I'll look and find out tomorrow what night I'm closing Comfest out at. But I think that'll go past 11 o'clock, so I may have to try and do the setup and do it from Comfest and maybe earlier. So maybe I'll do an earlier thing at 10 o'clock from Comfest, and that way I'll have the audience behind me and I can do the live on stage. I'll have to give it a minute because I'll have to set the camera up ahead of time. That way it can get me on stage, and someone will have to run the switcher. If I could bring it with me, I guess I could. I guess I could bring a little bit of it. We'll figure it out. Something will happen, and we'll make something cool out of it. Maybe that'll be the impetus for me to make this into a travel case. Maybe I could do that. That would be interesting. Get one of the old road cases I have and build this thing into it. That way I could have all the cables coming out of it to the cameras. So even if I take out the tripod, I have this setup, but I could also have a mobile setup. It's worth a shot. Maybe someone will have to come and be my producer and they can push the buttons. I don't know. Your lights are doing something weird. My lights are doing something weird. Yeah, why is it? It's that camera. I see that. It looks like it's flickering. With that, my lights aren't doing anything. That camera is. I don't know what's going on with that. These cameras have been, these definitely have, because see, this one's not doing it, right? This camera doesn't do that. It's the same, or is it? Did it just do it too? I don't know. Maybe it's auto-focusing, and when it changes the autofocus, it's changing the lights? I don't know. But I don't think this camera does it. Has this camera done it? But that one was. This camera was doing something weird. And I don't know if it's because it's trying to autofocus, and when it autofocuses, it's changing the... Yeah, see, if I look at it, there's a square on my face, so it's trying to follow me. So when I'm moving, maybe somehow it's changing the f-stop, but on this one, it doesn't. Right? That one's not doing it? Oh no, it did it too, because I'm delayed. I think it's the autofocus. It's like the audio equalizer. Right. Yeah, it's definitely something that's with the camera itself when it's adjusting. Because if I if I move closer, I can see it's changing its autofocus. The box changes from red to yellow. So it must be something of that nature. I don't know. I don't know these cameras well enough. Apparently that is a thing. All right, well, the cameras are trying to give me a hint to shut up. And I will. I will do this all again tomorrow. Remember, please like and subscribe to that one. Send likes to this one. And Hides Verified. Next episode is Thursday. Normally I'm setting up Fencer at 8 o'clock. I'm going to have to watch it mobile? I don't know. And then do my recap later. But supposedly there's going to be dancing. My dancing debut. I don't know if it's going to be very long, and I'm terrible at dancing. It was a weird... I actually got out of the van because it was rainy. Cleveland was just a rainy mess. So I got tired of sitting in the van when it was raining, so I left the van. Illegally parked in a Starbucks parking lot, no less. Figured, what the heck? They're not going to tow a giant orange van that has Stephen He's side picture on it. So anyway, do good things. Have a great rest of your evening. Try not to sweat too much tomorrow. Monday, back to work for some people. Every day for me is work, so someone has to remind me of the actual day of the week, because I don't know. They all blend together. It just seems to be this homogenization of days into weeks, into months, into life. 22 days doing this. Who knew? Have a wonderful day. I'll see you all tomorrow. And as per usual, we shall in fact fade to black.